What's up, party people? It's KeysDAN with RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com, coming to you live and in living color from the Radio What studios. And this is my podcast, What Makes You Famous? It's an extension of the RadioWhat.com internet radio station that I've been running for quite some time. And if you need DJ services, where do I always send you? DJLittleRock.com. One more time. DJLittleRock.com. Check availability and get a free price quote, and maybe you could have me at your next event. You know I like to party with the people. The people need to be entertained. Are you not entertained? Let me entertain you. Speaking of entertainment, today on the program, I have Ashley Woods. Oh, you know Ashley Woods. She's out of Vancouver, now in L.A., but she's been quite a few places on this planet, inspiring her music. And you get to hear a little bit more about Ashley Woods in the next few minutes. So stick around. This week's shows, I have one public show. I'm at the Rab in Conway, Arkansas, the Video Dance Party Karaoke Jam. That's right. I said karaoke. You're the stars of the show. It's a little concert starring each and every one of you. Yeah. They got a full bar, the kitchen's open, pool tables. In fact, they got a pool tournament on Friday night. So if you want to try your hand at playing pool and possibly make some money while you're doing it, you come on out to the Rab, Conway, Arkansas, Friday night. I'll be there from 8 p.m. until 12:30 in the AM. Get there early, stay late, and have a good time at the Rab. Friday night. Then on Saturday, I have a wedding. Oh, I'm so stoked. I've known this lady for a long time, and I get to do her wedding. In fact, she's been on the podcast a couple of times. I'm not going to tell you who it is. I'm not going to tell you. But unless you're invited, you cannot come. But the reason I mentioned it is because I still get to do weddings. Love them. Love them. Get to be a part of people's big days. All right. That's enough intro. Let's get into it with Ashley Woods. Now, I got her on Zoom. Zoom is a little tricky for me, but hey, we'll work it out. So if you're listening to the audio version of this, check out the video version on my YouTube page, youtube.com/user/KeysDAN. Zooming Ashley Woods now.
Nothing much.
What do you mean nothing much? You're a hard-working musician. That's a life choice in itself. That's setting you up for hardship, disappointment. But then when you get on the stage, that enlightenment, that joy, that satisfaction of all the hard work just paying off. All right. I know. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm getting ahead of myself. Hi, Ashley Woods. Good to see you. Tell me. All right. Give the people an idea, an overview of who you are.
Oh, gosh. Well, I would say probably, I'm Canadian.
Okay.
Do with that what you will. Born and raised in Vancouver, but now I'm based in Los Angeles for some reason. And I started writing for myself about 6 years ago and haven't been able to stop since. And I think, unfortunately for everybody, I write from a place of experience. So that often ends in very sad songs. So when you talk about the payoff and everything, you go on stage and you play a song and everyone's like, oh, it's sad. That's kind of...
Well, I mean,
that payoff is like, I'm so sorry, everybody.
Yeah, listening to the songs that you have the sweetest, and you keep that voice so light. It's like you're singing a lullaby to a baby. But some of these lullabies, okay, really all the lullabies that I've ever heard, Rockabye Baby, scariest song ever, okay? So, yeah. Lullabies are not meant to be, be happy songs. It's like you're singing horror stories to these infants. And I'm exactly. Listening to your songs, and they're haunting, and I like it. It comes from a certain... It evokes a certain emotion in me when I'm listening. I mean, I'm looking for other songs whenever I do parties, because I get to play at people's parties, and I'm looking for a happy birthday song. Then I come across your happy birthday song. Tell me a little bit about that, because sorry I missed your birthday.
That's funny. Yeah, maybe don't play that for somebody's birthday. I don't know. Maybe if you're by yourselves and you love them a lot, but like not for their birthday party.
Well, I mean, but
That
tell me
song,
about that
wow.
birthday. Yeah, tell me about that song.
Yeah, you know what? That song was actually written in 2020, like a long time ago. And it started off as a poem, and it wasn't a song at all. It had no melody. It was just a poem. And it came from a place of feeling like I didn't know how to express just how much I loved somebody, in the sense that I was grieving every day I hadn't known them before that. So that's the sentiment of like, I'm sorry I missed your birthday, is grieving all of those moments you didn't get to experience with somebody. But as years went by, I kept it to myself because it was so vulnerable. I was like, I can't let people hear this. And a few years later, I lost somebody close to me, and it kind of took on a new meaning, kind of leaning into more memories and nostalgia and how fragile life is. And so after that, I decided to record it and release it kind of around the time of the memorial for that person. And so there's a music video, and it's clips of me when I'm little with my family and different things like that. And that's the sentiment that it shaped into by the time of its release. So yeah, that's kind of the song.
Well, I mean, sometimes that's how art evolves. That's how sometimes creativity evolves. It starts out as a poem that may or may not be sad, but it turned into something because you did lose somebody close to you. And I noticed that you do you make music videos, and I appreciate that because I do play music videos. And when I play I'm going to try to find one that I can play at the club this weekend, you know, and because I like to play music from the people that I've talked to throughout the weeks, and I'll keep playing Ashley Wood's music, but this weekend I definitely want to feature you. And then when I play the video, people are going to go, hey, who is that? And I'll say, oh, that's Ashley Woods. Look her up at ashleywoods.co. C-O. You forgot the M.
Yeah.
What is co? Okay.
It was already taken.
Yikes.
I totally would have. And you know what? You know where it goes to?
Where?
Ashleywoods.com goes to someone's LinkedIn page. And that...
They didn't even take the time to build a website. I mean, you took the time to build a really nice website that leads you to your Instagram, your Spotify, your YouTube, and it gives you plenty of pictures and upcoming shows and tells people, all right, let's go back, because I do want to talk to you for a little bit about, anybody can go and listen to the music, but we want to know how the music came about. You said you've been writing for quite a few years, but tell me about a little baby Ashley Woods in Vancouver, all out there in the cold of Canada, because every time I think of Canada, I think of ice skating and hockey and just ice, tundra, frozen tundra. So maybe that 2 days out of the year when the sun comes out. Tell me about Ashley Woods, baby Ashley Woods.
You know what? You're not even that far off, because I was a figure skater when I was growing up. So you nailed it. But it was cold. It used to be cold. It doesn't get that cold anymore. But I honestly was so shy when I was little. I did not like the spotlight. I still don't particularly enjoy it in certain ways, but I've come to appreciate performing live. But when I was growing up, we had a lot of music in our house. My dad was a music pastor at a church. My mom taught kids music at school. And I have two siblings, and all of us do music in some capacity. And what I pursued when I was a teenager was musical theater, the ukulele, and the guitar. And that was my lane, and that's what I did. Yep. And so you got it. There it is.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so little.
Yeah. For those that are listening to the audio version of this, you get the pink ukulele, or as my daughter says, ukulele.
Ukulele. I don't know whether or not to say it the right way or if I'm going to sound like an ass. So I just say it the way that people say.
Well, I mean, when I listened, I talked to a person from Hawaii, and I said, "Do you pronounce it Hawaii or Hawaii?" And he said Hawaii, and I said, "Thank you," and he said, "You're welcome." Jokes, yo.
I would follow up with, "How do you want me to say it?"
No, but it's funny that you said ukulele. Like my daughter, that's my daughter's ukulele, but she said, "Dad, I want you to have that for your videos, for your background." So I said, "All right." And I put it back there, and I was like, I don't know where to put it, but I put it behind a monitor. And then you said ukulele. All right, that's an interesting instrument. You pick up a ukulele. Well, I guess a little kid would pick one up because it kind of fits your hands. I mean, did you learn the chords? Did you actually go to class and take music lessons to learn how to play the ukulele?
No, I did. I started with ukulele because it was so much easier to maneuver. Ukulele is such an easy instrument to learn. But when I picked up the guitar, we went to lessons for a bit, hated it, did not like that at all. So I just taught myself basically by looking up songs I liked, learning how the chords were shaped, and you just played and played and played and played. And I wouldn't even call myself a fantastic guitar player, not in any capacity. Okay. I call myself a capable guitar player. And my niche is writing, and so I'm so glad I found one because it wasn't guitar. But yeah, I did that all through high school. I lived some years on the beach in Belize and played the ukulele there, and that was very picturesque and beautiful. But after I moved down to LA, I actually started writing songs, and it wasn't because I was like, I want to be an artist, I want to do this. It was more because, wow, I actually really believe in these songs, and I think it'd be worth seeing if other people like them too. Because I think, I don't know, my entire life, music has helped me mentally, emotionally, in every way, shape, or form. I think a lot of people can relate to that. And so I just think if some of them do help, that would be nice. And if they don't, that's fine. Don't tell me. Keep it to yourself.
Well, I mean, Ashley Woods, you've not only been on a musical journey, you've been on a geographical journey as well. You went to Belize. Were you when you were playing, were you busking? Did you put the hat out and make dinner money playing your ukulele, or was this purely for your own satisfaction, your own joy?
Just my own joy and playing. So now, just do with this what you will, but this was at the time when I was involved in church. And so the ukulele I also did, churchy songs, things like that. That's what I did. That was like 10 years ago. And so those are it was just for my own joy and fun. And I sang with some friends, and we would do covers and just sang at community events. But no, it wasn't for money. And it was just because I loved it. Which sounds so like, but that's true. I just loved it. I was like, I have to let people hear this voice, except that's not even true. I made everybody sing with me. I didn't want to sing by myself.
Well, I mean, for a lot of artists, the church is a great place to break in your chops. Mm-hmm. You singing gospel music, gospel and Christmas music. It seems like those are the songs that are more universal for people to sing. If you're singing gospel, if you're singing Christmas songs, you can't sing them wrong. I say that with a grain of salt. You can. But you can't, Look, if I'm singing "Oh Holy Night" or I'm singing what was it? I don't know. So any of those gospel songs.
"Oh Holy Night's" a tough one.
I mean, what's your go-to? What's your go-to gospel? I like "I'll Fly Away." I mean, because the "Oh Brother Where Art Thou" version really it rekindled a love for that song. But even before that, that was my go-to gospel song. But I grew up Catholic, so we had a hymnal that we read out of, and I don't think anybody outside of the Catholicism would know the songs that are in those hymnals. But pick up the hymnal and turn to page 17 and sing these lyrics, and you know, and you either love it or you hate it. And it sounds like Ashley Woods, you loved it. Katy Perry started out in the church, and look where she is now, you know, going into rockets and thinking she's an astronaut. But that's another story.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. He went there. He went there. I love you, Katy Perry. You're great. All right. But we're talking Ashley Woods.
I'll stay right here.
You stay right there in L.A. because I love L.A. I've been out there. I've done some parties out there. I followed a singles group around in a van with my equipment, and they said, "Hey, why don't you while you're on the road, why don't you do some parties for us?" But you went from Vancouver, an ice skater, a figure skater. That was some kind of performance right there. I mean, were you performing in front of people, or were you simply learning how to figure skate?
No, I competed and I hated it.
Okay.
I competed. It's just what you did. It's just what everybody did. I loved skating, and I still skate to this day. I do it every week. And no, I hated competitions. I got so much anxiety, and I didn't like that people only saw this one version of what I could do, because in practicing, I could do so many other skills and had so much more range. But in one performance, you mess up one thing, even if you can do it normally, that's what people see. And I hated it. So much anxiety. I was so glad when I graduated high school and I was like, I'm not competing. I'm just going to skate.
Well, I mean, it sounds like your parents gave you a lot of tools in the toolbox. You can either be a carpenter or a gardener. The carpenter or the gardener is the two different types of parenting that I really subscribe to. The carpenter will bang you into a career. You are going to be a doctor. You are going to do this, and just bang everything until you get to that career. But a gardener will plant seeds. They'll play some music for you. They'll put you in ukulele, give you a ukulele. They'll put you in figure skates, and they'll give you the tools, and then you pick and choose what you want to take the rest of your life with. You started on that ukulele, and then you've graduated to guitar. You feel like you're good enough. I mean, I played 2 notes on guitar. I never got proficient enough to where I thought I could take it on stage and perform with it and subject people to listening to me play guitar. Did you take lessons in guitar, or did you transpose your ukulele into the guitar?
Oh, yeah. We had, my parents bought us all guitars when I was about 13 or 14. I don't remember. And we had a few lessons. We all did lessons together. That lasted, probably lasted like 2 months. Not even. Because it was so slow, and it was just, that is not an environment that I thrive in learning. I just thrive by doing. So I just said, I'm going to learn how to do this, but I'm going to learn on YouTube. And I'm going to look up chords, and I'm just going to play songs that I know. And that's what I did. It took a while, and not the blisters, the calluses. It took a while to build those up. But I have them now, thank God. And now I have a little noise when I tap my fingers.
Hey, a lot of people, especially young people, have figured out that they don't really have to go to school. Everything's online. Everything's on YouTube. You could find all that. And I give it up to the teachers. They're great. I appreciate the people that want to be teachers, and grades 1 through 12. You certainly need some kind of guidance to build you up, to make you a productive person of society. But after grade 12, after graduation, do you need to go to college? All the scientists and doctors, yes, please keep going to college, save the world. But for the most part, I think you can learn most of that stuff online. If I don't know anything, if I don't know something, I pick up my smartphone, and 5 seconds later, oh, okay, now I know a little bit about that thing. Okay, and you went that path. You went the path of going. Well, when you went to Belize, was that on a church thing, or was that on your own? Why did you go to Belize?
Yeah. So I took a year off after I graduated high school, and I mean, everybody wanted us to go to school, but there was no pressure to do it. It was more just kind of direction. And I thought at the time that I either wanted to go to film school or I wanted to go see the world. So I wanted to go to Africa. My parents gently pushed towards school, and it was a hard school to get into, and I got in. So I just accepted that that's what I was supposed to do, and I would just do traveling later. I got to school that fall, the year following high school. I lasted just over a month there before I sobbed and quit. And it wasn't because it was hard. It was because I was like, I don't care about this. I don't want to do this. I really don't care. I know where my passion lies within this film thing. And I went home, I told my parents, and I said, I'm sorry, but I feel like I want to go do something. So the thing I did was, it was like it was kind of like a missionary church thing. And it was supposed to be about 5 to 6 months, which I did. I did do that. And then I came home and I said, I'm actually going to move there. I was home for a month, and I was back there after a month and lived there for a year after that.
Well, Belize must have some magic to it, because my I'm from the Florida Keys, and my mom was living in the Florida Keys, and she took her husband to Belize, and she came back thinking that she wanted to move there, sell her house in the Florida Keys for a big amount of money and live like a fat rat down in Belize. And I think there must be something to that place. I need to get there at some point. Is it magical? Are the beaches great?
Lovely. It's so beautiful. And I was on an island, so I wasn't on the mainland. Mainland's a little, I think, scarier, apparently. I felt fine. But we were on an island, and it's not very big. It's about a mile wide. You've got ocean on one side, a lagoon in the back. It's got the second largest reef just off the coast of the island. So there's no huge waves crashing on the island. You kayak out to the reef. It's just a completely different way of living that I can't believe I ever lived to this day. I'm like, I never wore shoes. I drank juice out of bags. I was tan. We drove golf carts everywhere. There was wildlife everywhere. Ate on the beach. Like, it was just completely different. And I'm really thankful for the experience. I think everybody raised in a North American cold culture should go out and experience other cultures for a long period of time, so that you don't grow up into being a grown-up that's so sheltered and doesn't understand that other people and other cultures exist. But oh man, that was beautiful. It was so beautiful. Belize, they speak English. That's their official language. They're Spanish and Creole, and they have a lot of people retiring there.
Yeah, I can appreciate that so much.
Visa to live there.
Like I said, I'm from the Florida Keys, so I know the island life. I know living on an island that's, one side is the Atlantic Ocean and the other side is the Gulf of Mexico. Excuse me, I'm sorry, Gulf of America. What? Okay, but I know I'm dipping into politics a little bit, and I need to veer away. Move down the Ashley Woods path. All right, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask. You said your parents gave you all guitars. Were they trying to start a band? Mm-hmm. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have an older brother and a younger sister. I honestly wouldn't put it past them. The Von Trapp family was probably just a little bit down the road if we hadn't all gone our separate ways.
Are they still in the music business, or are they still doing it?
Not music business. My dad doesn't do a lot of music anymore, but he, when we were growing up, played the trumpet and did the music pastor thing. And my mom just retired last year. She was an elementary school music teacher until then. And her instrument is the piano, but she can play a bunch of different ones capably, because obviously she needs to teach it. My brother's instrument of choice, he does have a guitar, but his instrument was the drums. He was a drummer, fantastic drummer, still to this day. and he just doesn't do it regularly. He plays at his church and everything. And my sister leaned into guitar and bass, and so she has a few guitars and she plays those. She can sing, she's just a little shy. But yeah, I'm the only one who's really chasing it the way that I am. But they're all fully capable. Like this.
Well, I mean, I guess the family get-together has got to be very, very musical. Do you guys just whip out all your instruments when you doing your backyard barbecues and here goes the Woods band and go?
Oh my God, my mom wishes she would love that. None of us were like, no, thank you. I'm shy.
Well, I'm putting it out into the universe. We're going old-timey, before television, before radio, when people sat around their piano and sang the songs, sang the classics, the whole American catalog or Americana. But all right, we're
No, you're good.
I do want to take you down the path. Okay, so you went from Belize, you went back home to Vancouver. And what gave you the inkling that said L.A. is the place you got to be? You said you wanted to go into movies. You said you wanted to get into song. You were into songwriting already. You wanted to pursue this career a little bit more. Did you know anybody in L.A.? Did you have a connection? What happened?
Yeah. So I think from the time I left Belize, which was 2015, to the time I arrived here was 2019. So math is hard. That's 4 years. I spent most of that time. Listen, I got a C- my last year in math. I know where my strengths are. That's fine. But
A, B, C, you're in the top 3.
Years,
don't worry about it.
I passed and I have a high school diploma and that's all I need. And that's fine. But the 4 years I spent, I don't know, I traveled a lot, but it was mostly in Vancouver, just working, just living my life, trying to figure out what I wanted to do after that. I desperately wanted to write. I could feel it. But I think at that time, and I don't actually think, I know at that time, had I been able to write, which sounds so frou-frou, I know, but just stay with me. I would have forced myself to write church songs in a way that wouldn't have been like it. It was just a belief I had at the time, but I was like, if I'm going to do anything like that, it should be that, right? And gradually over the 4 years, that ideology has dissolved into something else. But I eventually landed, I started writing LA, so I don't want to skip that. But I got to LA because I'd always felt drawn there. Another frou-frou, I don't know. I just felt drawn here. And I remember years ago hearing from a friend of an organization that she worked for. Now, again, during this 4 years, I'd always been very social justice focused. So I'd been to Greece during the refugee crisis, helping there. I'd been to a bunch of different places, even within Vancouver, doing like homeless thing. Like there was just a part of me, even to this day, that always, I can't sit right with myself unless I'm helping in some way. But that was always a thing. And so my drive to LA was actually to work with an anti-human trafficking organization down here. Mm-hmm. And to my surprise, they said, sure, come on down. Give us your time for free, for no money. And I said, yes, I would love to do that. So I did. And that was my doorway. And it wasn't intentionally a doorway. I wasn't trying to do it to get here. My plan the whole time was to do it and then go home. I left all my furniture there. I left I had a basement suite, everything. It was all still there. I just took what I needed. But eventually I didn't leave. And when I finally got I found a full-time job so I would be able to stay in 2020. My plan was to work for a bit because I had no money left because I'd been working for free. I was going to fly up, get a U-Haul, pack all my stuff up, and drive back down. And then the pandemic hit, so I was stuck there, or here, I guess. So I just never left. And it's been, I guess, 6 years, and I still haven't left.
Well, it's amazing what circumstance will do. I've started over several times in my life. I mostly, like leaving stuff somewhere. I've left stuff and just started all over with, the clothes on my back and whatever I could fit in my car, and just drove to a different place and started all over again.
Yeah.
Not too far away from South Florida, but I went to Orlando and I went to Miami and I went to the Florida Keys and Fort Lauderdale. But most of the time on those trips, it's like whatever you could fit in your car and then go. My latest one, my last one was Arkansas. Here I am all the way in Arkansas, which is like the middle of the country, the southern states.
Yeah.
And I did pack a U-Haul, but still, it wasn't everything that I had. I sold off or gave away almost everything I had in my apartment and came out here. And here I am ever since. But L.A., have you made connections? Have you been on stage? What are you doing in L.A. Now that you're working? That you get a day job just to afford you to be able to do the night job. As a lot of people go, I want to be a musician, but starving artist is a thing. It's a phrase. It's a hustle.
Oh, absolutely.
You may or may not make money in this business, but sometimes it's not about the money. You already said you have a passion for it. If money comes, hey, that's great too. Bonus. I'd love to see you make a career of this. And a lot of times it's hard. You have your Spotify up on your website, but are you making money from Spotify? Probably not. If you make pennies, that's something.
Like a whole $50.
Ooh, $50. That'll get you dinner, maybe. And then California being very expensive. Okay, when you said that you had to move different places, I thought of Baz Luhrmann saying, move to New York, but leave before it makes you hard, and move to California, but leave before it makes you soft. Those two, I've lived by that since I heard it.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. What do they mean by LA makes you soft?
LA makes you soft, obviously. I mean, shoot, you got there and you just kind of chilled out, Yeah, I'll work for free.
Oh, I see.
I'll work for free, man. No problem.
Oh, I see. I thought mentally, because I was like, I feel like LA makes you jaded and bitter.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's the plasticity of people. There's people everywhere. People are people. You're going to find some nice people, and you're going to find some people that aren't so nice. And you have to find the crowd that pleases you best. I mean, but did you find your people? Have you found a niche? What's Ashley Woods doing now?
When I first moved here, I had so many good friends. Obviously they lasted for a couple of years, but after the pandemic and everything, they started to drop like flies and move out of state, which I understand. And so of the people that I met in the community that I made, there's probably like 2% of them left in California. And I understand that. That totally makes sense. And I'm slowly like building a community now after all of that has happened out here. But it is difficult, and it's very common for the culture out here to be like, people are very flaky. Sorry, I don't know if you hear that. That's also LA culture. That is a golf cart selling juice and fruit outside. Do you want some?
Oh, yeah, you got to get the juice and fruit, man.
Horn?
No, that's fantastic. I do hear the horn.
Beep, 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 beep.
Well, good.
In case you need fruit or juice, just in case. If you hear a loud bang, that's been happening every day for the last 2 weeks. Probably fireworks. It's probably nothing.
Okay. Probably nothing.
Yeah.
But duck anyway. Get down on the floor anyway. Yeah. It's probably
you
okay.
You brace yourself and you're like, is this it?
It's more experiences that will turn into a song, I'm sure.
A dumpster was on fire. Like, you feel like you're living in a video game. Most of the time, at least where I live.
That's a country song. Life is a dumpster fire.
Yeah. Oh wait, it's actually just right there. It's not there's a dumpster fire. It's right there.
Yes. It could be Ashley Woods' next offering. I mean, but are you playing on
Yeah,
stage?
exactly.
Are you recording anymore?
Oh,
What are you
sorry.
doing these
Yeah.
days?
Yeah. So I I actually spent the first 3 years in Orange County, but in 2022 is when I moved up to LA, which I was so happy about. It was like being so close but so far, but I finally made it, and I love the energy here because it feels like a lot of people are here on purpose. They're here for a reason, and I really like that. And so um I've been here, yeah, I've been here about 3 years. Life got a little turbulent. And so in 2023, I wrote an album, which is out, and I released it in 2024. And it's called Inner Child. So that's something I did. And I worked with a producer in London, actually. So we never had in person sessions. It was all recorded in my bedroom and sent back to him. And he would send me things, and I would send ideas back. And just that happened for the entire album. And it's cute in a way that it's like, yeah, inner child, like that's so sweet, but it's also like, no, I literally did all of that inner work, and that was really difficult, and this is the product of it, which is nice. But it was released in 2024 with like not as much gumption as I would have liked to have given it, but I just was completely spent emotionally from
Mm-hmm.
it. So I was like, you know what, this is for me. This, here you go. Just put it out there. I'm proud of it, but I just had nothing left to give. But even in the process of that, I actually have been writing all of last year into this year. I'm thankful it doesn't stop, but I still have this like thing in the back of my head of like, because most of my songs come from experiences, and if you actually listen to the words, you're like, whoa, this is actually really heavy. And unfortunately, that's because usually I felt those things most of the time. I have a hard time writing things that aren't true, which is hard for my co-writers too. I have a few co-writers now in new songs, and they'll say something, I'm like, that's such a good idea, but that's not real, so I can't say that. That never happened, so we can't write that. And this has to feel like it was like it's actually true to what I've experienced. And sometimes it's poetic and sometimes it's not, but that's what I'm doing here right now. I've have two wonderful three. Two work together, and then one's a little bit further away, and I work with them, and I'm having a great time. The music I'm making now is the best I've ever made, and I'm glad, because that means that I'm always getting better. And even like, I have a song out Friday that is the longest I've ever worked on a song in my entire, I was going to say life, but obviously it's not been that long. I wrote it last spring. We started working on it a month later, and we finished it like 2.5 months ago.
Also with the
Absolutely
producer
finished
that's
it.
in England? With the producer that's in England?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, these guys are here in LA. I started working with them on this song because it is, I will say, it's the most vulnerable song I will have released to this day, which is kind of scary to say, because people who have heard my music will be like, wait, what does that mean? Because I've released songs, I'll say this very briefly. I've released songs that are about like, I don't want to be here anymore. And to say that this will be the most vulnerable song, it's just because for me, it feels terrifying to put out in the world, and maybe people won't pick up on it, and that will be so great. But maybe they will. And anyway, so I wanted to give it to people who were going to hold it really well and really delicately, because I spend a lot of the sessions with them, and we had a bunch over this last year, and I'd have moments where I'd be sitting in the studio with them, we're working on the song, and I'll start crying. And they're like, are you okay? Is this going to be fine? I'm like, no, it's okay. It's good. Just keep going. Just give me a moment. And even sometimes when I'm playing and practicing, getting ready for a show, I actually can't get through it without crying. And I don't know if that's ever going to change. I hope it will. But I'm just, I'm trying to give light to songs that I've kept in the dark, because there's so much emotional entanglement in them, but they're exactly how I process those things anyway. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm very scared.
Well, I mean, having a lot of emotions like that, it is reflective in your music. And hey, I for one am happy that there's Ashley Woods in the world. Okay, so stick around and keep doing what you're doing. Okay, because I love it. I want to hear more and more and more. Your sweet voice, even if your voice evolves, if you decide to belt out a song, that might be another avenue to take. But there's an evolution to your music. It starts off in a place of inner child, looking inside of yourself. And then it can go outwards from there. You could take creative license. You can write works of fiction and become and evolve as Ashley Woods evolves. AshleyWoods.co. You forgot the That's right. That's right. We talked about our .co.
Yeah.
All right. I do want to talk to you a little bit more, in the future, but I don't want to take a lot more of your time. But give the people an idea of how to get a hold of you, what you're open to. Do you want to work on stage, or do you want to stay doing studio work? What is Ashley Woods open to?
Well, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok. I'm forgetting all of them. Facebook, YouTube.
I got all the links on the show notes below there.
I swear, I took my ADHD meds. They're just not working. Honestly, I am so excited. I've grown to love performing. I did give myself a little bit of a test last year. I did some shows and I was like, I'm going to find out if I actually really like this or not. And if I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. And I do like it. And I actually love sharing them with people in real life. So I love performing. I'd love to do that more. I love working in the studio. That is my favorite. I love writing. I love it so much. I love weaving together weird, I love writing words, I'm going to say this so honestly, that hurt my feelings, and then I know that they'll hurt other people's feelings. But not in a way that I want to hurt someone's feelings. It's actually more that I'm like, I just want you to be aware of these kinds of things in real life, because I meet so many people who keep things right on the surface, and I'm like, you're not even tapping into everything the human experience can have. I don't even know if that sentence makes sense, but I had a writing session today with a friend, and we wrote a song kind of around the idea of, do I want to give this away? Okay, nobody take this idea. I'm going to copyright it right now. We wrote a song around the idea of being medicated, and how it's something that you do not because you feel like you need it, mentally, not actual physical medications for your physical, but how it's not something you necessarily feel like you need, but something that doctors, society pressures you to have to need to be welcomed and accepted in society as a functioning human. So we wrote that, and that was so exciting to put all those lyrics together, and a lot of them are jabs, and it was just, I love that, and I want to do more of that. And at this point in time, I have a great job that gives me time. It doesn't give me a lot of money, but you either get a lot of money or you get a lot of time, and right now I'm taking my time, and time is more valuable to me anyway. So yeah, that's what I love doing. That's what I want to keep doing. And I'm happy with, the ways that I am evolving right now. I don't need anything gigantic. I just hope that people like it, I guess. And maybe they don't have to, but I like it.
Yeah, I, for one, like it, Ashley Woods. I mean, you're talking about chemistry, keeping people's mental balance and the chemicals in your brain. What is normal, and what does it take to make you feel normal? I'm guessing that you're going to some kind of professional that's giving you that's helping you to manage the chemistry in your own body. This is me speculating. You can divulge or not divulge, but thankfully, Okay, yeah, I do take chemicals. I take stuff for my heart and my blood pressure. So I guess that's chemistry as well. And it's the same as taking, lithium or anything that manages the chemicals, the chemistry in your brain. I've had people in my family and friends that have to do it, to manage, just to make them feel some semblance of normal. And what is normal? That's right.
Oh yeah. And mine's I'm on amphetamines. Woohoo. but and I was scared to take them, but honestly, I will say, now that we're just talking about this, I will say after taking them, and I've taken them for a while now, a long while, and I one, can't believe how I functioned without them, and two, I sometimes slip into a little bitterness of like, oh, people who don't have this just got to live like this their whole lives. So like, where would I be in my life if I had access to this and knew about this earlier on in my life, but
but then you wouldn't have had those early songs. You wouldn't have had those early poems. You wouldn't have been able to gauge, hey, this is what I don't want to live like. I don't want to feel like, and this feels better. If I take this substance, it makes me feel better. So it's nice. It's more power to you. Keep on going down that path. Whatever it takes to keep Ashley Woods going until she's way into her hundreds. And I'm guessing that your generation is going to live into your hundreds. And not just into your hundreds, but into your hundreds to where you're not decrepit or non-functional. You're going to be in your hundreds to where you're like a 50-year-old, but 100.
Man, I learned about muscle dystrophy like 2 years ago, and I walk around my house just doing lunges, and I'm not going to lose these. No,
good.
It's not going to be me.
Well, me having
keep your body moving. It doesn't need to be like a vigorous workout. It just needs your joints need to move.
You're right.
Need to go on a walk.
You're just right. That's good advice. Ashley Woods, get your steps in.
Oh man.
All right. So speaking of, go ahead. You have what?
Oh no. I was gonna. Oh, I forgot the camera moves.
Oh, I should make mine do it.
I have two grandparents, and one chooses not to move and one chooses to move, and the one who moves is older and seems younger. So that in and of itself is proof that just keep moving.
Oh, I understand. I worked at a hospital for 10 years and in the emergency room, and I thought all old people were sick, and they're not. You can move well into your 80s, into your 90s, and into your hundreds. Oh yeah. Okay. Ashley Woods, the Centurion, when you're celebrating your 100th birthday, replay this video and you go, oh yeah, I remember he put that into the universe. And I do have, I don't know how much I believe it, but when you put stuff into the universe, it may come back. So your parents giving all the kids instruments, you might form a band. Still, it could happen. The Woods. Here come the Woods.
Oh my God, working with my siblings, I would lose my mind.
Okay, that's kind of the same in any kind of band, because trying to get a few people at a place at a certain time. So, do you work primarily on your own? Because you said that you do your recording in your room, and that's great. I mean, you're letting people know. It used to be back when recording was brand new. There was a handful, maybe two handfuls of recording studios in the world that could make every record. Now, anybody with $1,000 worth of equipment, computer, microphone, some kind of interface, can make music, can make art in their own room, and you're doing it. You know, Ashley Woods, you're doing it. And you have people helping you along the way. I know that Big Records put us together, Tara, and I appreciate that so much. It seems like those people are helping people just like you. Get to the next level. You got here on your own, and now it's time to go a little further. Do you want to go take Ashley Woods around the world, or do you want to play primarily in LA? Because you can make a whole career of playing in LA or even in Vancouver. Either one. Do you want to take the world trip, the world tour, or stay in Ashley Woods in the LA?
I've always loved traveling. I will absolutely take it anywhere. If someone says, hey, we want you to play here, I'll be like, okay, how much is the plane ticket? I'm coming. I love seeing the world, and I would be so happy to do that. And I have a show next week in DC. They offered me a show, so I'm going there. It's not paid, but I'm so excited.
Hey, what do you mean not paid? How's Ashley Woods going to make some money? How are you going to make a living here? Okay, you can't pay your bills with T-shirts and plane tickets.
Oh yeah, I got the flight on points, and I have a friend hooked me up with a Hilton Go account. Like, we're good for now, but yeah, it'll eventually come around where I'm like, I need some money, because you do. But I have a day job, and it's so wonderful right now. And you're right, merch does make all the money. But I do have some shows in Vancouver in July that are paid, which is exciting. And I've never played my own stuff in my hometown. I've played in my hometown before in Vancouver, but it was always with somebody else or doing something else. And I've never brought my music there. So I'm really excited to do 2 shows in the summer. But yeah, I'm excited for that, because it's been like I started writing when I moved here, and I haven't left. So that's crazy.
So do you have a band that's coming with you, or is it Ashley Woods and guitar?
It's just me. One day I would love to have a band. I'm collecting musicians like Infinity Stones right now. So I have a drummer I really love. He's expensive, but I just tell him, I'm like, because he's a friend of mine. I tell him, I'm like, listen, I will pay for you when I can afford you. And then I have a guitarist that I really like, and he's really talented. And I even know a guitarist in Canada, but he's not in the right province. But just collecting them like little stones. And eventually I love playing with bands. I've literally done it like 3 times in my whole life, but it's the best having other people up there. It's like a team sport.
Well, it's nice to play with other people.
It sound better.
It sounds like Ashley Woods is open to collaboration. You can play well with others. It's nice to have seasoned musicians. Most of the studios will also collect the musicians like Infinity Stones. And I know that there's a lot of studio musicians that are willing to take it on the road for a minute. So when you're doing your music in studio, I'm guessing that you're playing with studio musicians, correct?
Yeah. So let's just use the song coming out as an example.
Okay.
These guys work. There's 2 of them. They're a collaborative team. I love them to death. They're some of my closest friends now, and they tag team. And one of them does a bunch of the guitar work, the ukulele, bass, mandolins, anything we need. The other one does piano and does the production and the mixing. Well, not mixing, but that side of it. And any other instruments we need, think of like a violin or like drums. Well, I'll either find someone, they might know someone, and we bring those people in. And we had, for this song, I got to hire the friend I was talking about as a drummer for the song, and he absolutely killed it. It was so exciting, and it brought the song to life. And I was like, I'm sorry, but you're doing all of my songs forever now. Because he did such a good job. It sounds so good. You'll hear it, like the drums are just the best part of the song, because I can hear takes of the song before he was on it and after, and I'm like, those are 2 different songs. He did such a good job. And yeah, I love collaborating. I don't claim to be the best at anything. I'm like, let's go. Let's write something better. If this isn't good, I don't want to, tell me, like, if this idea sucks, let's move on. Let's think of something else. I don't care. I want it to sound good. I want it to be the best. I'm pretty good at balancing, like, let's make it good, but also keep it pretty authentic, because I can be attached to my words, but I'm also not attached to all of them. Usually there's only a few where I'm like, you can't change that. Sorry.
No. Hey, look, writers, there's all kinds of writers. And a lot of times they're very, very precious with their words. You've put it on the paper that came from your heart. Please don't change this too much, because it will affect the meaning of what it means to you. And when you're putting stuff out in the world, it's not just for people like me. It's not just for everybody else. It's also for yourself. You have to be proud of the product that you've put out. Yeah. And you said that first product, look, you were exhausted, but you put it out there, and that's your first offering. And now your second offering will evolve from there. And I suspect it's just for you, quote unquote, better, not better. It's going to be better for you. Art is subjective, right?
Oh, absolutely. And I think I'm really happy, and this is what I wanted for a while, but this song comes directly out of the exhaustion from those couple of years. And truly, and it's called Closure. So it's like a bookend. It is literally like, okay, well, I'll say this song is, I always say, I'm like, it's about loss, and it's about loss of a lot of different kinds and a lot of different flavors, and loss that has no clean edges. And anyway, so the song, the purpose of it for me is letting go of things while still holding on to love and learning how to figure that out and carry both. And yeah, it's definitely also about these are things that I felt like I lost and didn't have or wasn't able to hold on to, but this was the heaviest loss of all. And it kind of flows like that. And the guys that I worked with, I think I said, they held it so well and so delicately. And it was completely different when I first brought it to them to what it is now. We kind of took it apart and puzzle pieced it around. And so the verses are all what I wrote and the bridge, but the chorus was a fully collaborative effort, brand new. We just made it. And so it feels very authentic, and in a way they helped guide me out of these pains, because the verses are all just confessional pain, hurt and everything, but the chorus kind of resolves it. Not completely in a way that feels like, oh, she's better, but it feels like oh, she's accepted that. That's just what that is. So I don't know. I don't even remember how I got talking about that, but that's when you're saying putting out that last album of all the pain and work, and the next thing I'm doing it feels very bookend. Well, it's called Closure. That's why it's called Closure. So it's not about bitterness. It's not about finality, but it's about acceptance. I don't want anyone to think oh, she's done with these. But it's for me.
Well, and during that first album, the whole world was going through something right along with you, Ashley Wood. So yeah, that what kept you in LA, the pandemic made, was going, everyone else was going through that as well. I mean, I lost plenty of jobs myself. I mean, there was people were just scrambling, trying to figure out if life was going to go on. And thankfully it did. It has. Ashley Woods, it's happening. And often through creativity comes from places of emotion, and pain is one strong emotion. Hurt, despair, loss is strong emotion that could ignite creativity, and it seems like it has. It has for you. Hopefully, there's going to be some happy times. Through the chemistry and the chemicals, let's make some more happy times. As these lullabies are haunting and beautiful, but how about The Cure? Robert Smith of The Cure did a "Friday I'm in Love" song, Even though that most of his songs were so dark, and then Friday I'm in love. Oh my gosh, Robert, go back to the pain, go back to the despair. It was crazy.
Oh, thank you for saying that. Every time I try to write something happy, I'm not kidding. It just eventually just do, and I don't even see it happening until it's happened, and I'm like, oops, sorry guys, my bad.
No, you're gonna.
It's just too easy. It's just too easy to pull language from a place of pain and hurt, and it's much harder for me. Which sounds really sad, but it's much harder for me to pull language from places of happiness, because the way that life has just gone for me, it's actually pain that points or gives a reason to be happy. But I don't think a lot of people see it like that, and so that's fine.
No, if this is the way that you work through whatever you're working through, that is fantastic. People play video games, first-person shooters, so they don't go out and do it in real life sometimes, okay? So, work through what you're working through by putting pen to paper and recording through your microphone, whatever you have to do to keep yourself living and continue thriving and surviving in this life. Thank you, Ashley Woods. Now, hey, do you want to give some shout outs to people that have helped you along the way as we wind this thing down?
I want to thank, such a good question. I want to thank my mom and dad for giving birth to me. It took me a while to be thankful for that, but sure, we'll say thank you for that. I want to thank my grandma for being the most fun person on the planet and for being hilarious and inspiring me to write things. She always wanted me to write. And I want to thank all the neighbors and community in my neighborhood for being so loud that I can almost never record here because there's always noise somewhere.
There's a closet full of clothes. You put that closet full of clothes, you put a blanket over the top of your head, and then you have the microphone. It's just you and the microphone in the dark with the blanket over your head.
Me and the microphone, and all of a sudden you're and you're like, nothing could cut through that.
Time to go get that juice. Yep, let's go.
Just gonna go into the fridge or something. I don't know.
All right, Ashley Woods. Hey, let's go ahead and take this home, land this plane. I don't want this to be the last time that we talk. As time progresses, if you want to come back and promote whatever's happening when that new album comes out, if you want to chit chat for a little bit more, doesn't have to be this long. But if you just want to give a little bump to ashleyWoods.co, that's right, no M. .co.
Oh, man.
AshleyWoods.com. Give it up. Come on. You got a LinkedIn. All right. Just give it to Ashley Woods. This Ashley Woods. All right. All right. AshleyWoods.co.
Why do you need it to go to your LinkedIn?
All right. I always finish these things off with last words for the people. This could be words to live by, something you heard a long time ago, maybe a mantra that you wake up with every morning, or whatever pops into your head at this moment in time. Ashley Woods, give the last words for the people.
Oh, yeah. Last words. Don't believe everything your mechanic says you need done to your car. Ask ChatGPT first.
Well, there you have it, party people. Ashley Woods, ashleyWoods.co. Look it up, learn it, know it, visit, and, I guess buy some merch and go visit Ashley Woods at a show near you. And if you're in D.C., go check out that show in D.C., but primarily in L.A. and soon to be all over the world. So if you have the means and you have the ability to hire Ashley Woods and take her all over this planet, she's open to it. Yeah, Ashley, you're open to it. I appreciate you so much, Ashley Woods, for being on the show, and Big Records and Tara for for putting us together. I appreciate that. See the fine folks at Big Records. Oh, they've been so good. They've been so good to the artists that they support, and I appreciate that. It's good to have good people in your corner. Ashley Woods, you're good people. Thank you so much for being on the What Makes You Famous podcast. That's it for this edition of What Makes You Famous. Now, if you, yes, you, if you'd like to tell your story, I encourage you to give me a call, 501-470-6386, or email keysdan@aol.com. That's it for me. It's KeysDAN, RadioWhat.com, DJLittleRock.com. Peace. I'm out of here.